Hello, 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 and welcome back, dear ones, to the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast. I was thinking about what we tend to do at New Year. Everybody tends to make those resolutions, etc., set some goals. And I noticed that I have like two clusters of humans around me, actually three. One cluster doesn't even start to set any goals or resolutions or intentions. One cluster that sets a resolution that they expect to fail, right? And one cluster that sets intentions and themes for the year and is very sort of metaphysical about the way that they approach the new year. And it got me thinking about the resolutions and that thing that's been around since the dawn of time of, it seems, at least the dawn of my time, setting a resolution at New Year's. And I was thinking about it and thinking about the fact that when we set resolutions for a new year, we expect them to fail. Like all the propaganda, all the discussion around resolutions is how apt they are to fail and how statistically most people don't stick with them for more than a week or maybe 4 weeks or whatever. And I got thinking about why that is. And I think it's because resolutions are usually built on shame or loss or fear. They're not based in love. And we know in spontaneous brilliance land, right? It's all about finding the love. And resolutions are vague or they're enormous or they're blocked before we even set them because of our presets, right? We tend to pick our resolutions in terms of a negative, like what we don't want. Like, I want to stop doing this. I'm going to quit this. I'm going to never do this again. I'm going to whatever. And that is, again, in contradiction to what we know, which is on any stage, you can't play a negative. You can't play not doing something. You've got to know what you're doing, right? And then feeling follows doing. So if we're wanting to feel better about our year, rather than setting a resolution for what we're not going to do, we want to set an intention for what we are going to do. Because we're all about being conscious creators of creating this next year, right? So it's time for us to be living our bliss, and we can't live our bliss unless we identify what it is and put it in the GPS of our life, right? So how are we going to approach this year on the great stage of life? I want to approach it like the cluster of humans that I hang out with that set intentions and set themes. And that is what I do. For years, I've always set a theme for my year, like a phrase. Some people just choose a single word, but I will choose a phrase like embracing success or radical gratitude or living my bliss or whatever it is that I am going to remind myself by that theme where I'm coming at the year from. And I also set intentions for what I believe are the things that I want to accomplish in the year, the things that I want to see happen in this year. And because for many years I have been a part of Your Year of Miracles with Marcy Scheimoff and originally with Deborah Poneman, and that's where I learned to really set my miracle intentions. And I think that whatever program you're in, or whether you're just listening to this podcast right now and leaning into the idea of setting intentions for your year, let's do that right now together. Let's walk through a little bit of a process here. And it's just really 3 major steps, I think. So first, you're going to dream. Okay? And dreaming is about, wake dreaming is about really connecting to your imagination, and your imagination is your connection to your soulful self. So it's really about taking that time to go inside, to really notice what is going on inside of you. get in touch with your soulful self and really allowing ourselves to imagine the success that we want to have this year. What is the miraculous, marvelous, powerful, beautiful, magnificent dream that you have? And I use all those adjectives very consciously because we don't want to dream just about like getting the bills paid, right? But what is it beyond that? What is it that you truly want in this year to accomplish, to experience, to contribute, to evolve through? And I want to encourage us not to pick a dream that is like for 20 years from now or 40 years from now, not so far out in front of us that it's like a resolution, right? We don't really know how to put that in our GPS, right? We don't have the accurate address. But something that is your big, stretchy, not small, big, stretchy dream for what you truly want, what is truly your bliss place for this year. And as you decide on your dream, then name it. That is that theme, that is that intention. What are you setting your intention for? Once you've named it, then you can set your intention, and basically that's the plugging it into the life GPS, right? So I always set a theme and 3 miracle intentions for my upcoming year. And intentions are those miracles that you want to manifest in your life during the year. There's something that you truly want. They are an end goal. They are at the essence of your wants for the next stage of your miraculous life. So maybe it is, perfect health. Maybe it is financial freedom. Maybe it is, and I'm stating these very, concisely, and your intention might be more specific than that or more elaborate than that. And, please feel free to set your intention in a way that is very dreamable for you. But do set your intention. Find your dream, okay? And when you've found your dream, then you gotta fall in love with your dream. Because remember, it's always about finding the love. And when you fall in love with your dream, that's how you lock it in, right? Because you can put something in the GPS. I'm going to mix metaphors here because we always are in the metaphorical, metaphysical guide to life, right? So we're always in the metaphor of the great stage of life. But we're going to talk about GPSs and cars a little bit, I think, for a minute. Because when you put something in your GPS, right? If you don't have a love for what you're going to, you can find all sorts of reasons not to ever get in the car, right? If you're falling in love with your destination, you're falling in love with that intention, you can call it your destination instead of call it your intention. Call it your year destination. Where are you going, right? I like that. I just thought of that. Let's call it our year destination. So we intend to find our year destination. We're going to dream about that in that destination, and we're going to fall in love with that destination, right? And then we're going to lock it in, okay? When we've fallen in love with it, then we know that we're going to get there. We're going to get there, right? Because, think about it. If you really love someplace you're going, or you really love the person, if you've fallen in love with a person and you need to get to them, or you want to get to them, if you get in the car and the car doesn't work for some reason, you're going to call an Uber, you're going to call a friend, you're going to walk, you're going to do whatever you need to get to them. If one of my kids needed me, man, you couldn't stop me. I'd figure out some way to get there, right? When you take a trip to, say, a loved one, or you go on an adventure to a place you've always wanted to go, if there are potholes and cranky people, it doesn't make you decide not to go or not to finish the trip, because it's only a problem of that kind of magnitude if you hold on to it. If you offer to the cranky person selling you the ticket, in some way you make an offer that's going to make their day better, or you offer to the pothole that you go around it, and then you spend the next leg of your trip writing a cool story in your head by imagining the wacky way in which the pothole was created. There is no limitation to how you can frame the seeming obstacles that you face on your trip once you have set your GPS toward the dream that you have fallen in love with, your destination, destiny, right? Once we've fallen in love with that destination, that dream destination, then there is nothing that can stop us from getting there unless we let it. If your loved one is far away and you are trying to get to them, you figure it out. You don't go, oh, well, this is a little hard. I guess it wasn't meant to be, right? I guess I wasn't meant to go visit my kids. Yeah, no, I don't think so, Sparky. So when you fall in love, when you love that destination, you love that dream destination, you're going to get there, okay? You're going to embrace the obstacles. You're going to offer into it. You're going to accept what is coming, and you're going to not block whatever the pathways are that show up on your GPS. And then the next step on this road towards your destination, towards your dream destination in this next year, is letting go. And I think this is the most important part of having a dream for your year, is letting go. The reason resolutions don't work is because they are built on something we're hanging on to. They are built on something we are holding in our head that we don't want. That is no way to get anywhere. If we are sitting in the driveway in the car thinking about the place that we're trying to leave, and that's all we're doing, we're not ever going to go anywhere, right? We got to look out the front window. We got to turn the key. We got to put the foot on the gas. We got to start to move. So letting go, it's all a process of letting go. There are lots of ways of letting go, lots of things we need to let go of. And the first thing we need to let go of is the how. Because if we've dreamed big enough, if we've dreamed a destination that we really are going to fall in love with, it's going to be a big one. And we are not necessarily going to know how. Okay? We let go of how, what Mike Dooley calls the cursed hows. And here's a how. I don't know how my car works. I am like, call Rex to fix the car, or, I know where my favorite mechanic is. I don't know how my car works, but I do know the things I need to know to move it down the road. I know how to drive it. I know how to ride in it. That's all I need to know. I know how to turn the key. I know where the gas pedal is. I know the rules of the road. I point it in the direction and I hold it to that direction, and it is going to carry me there. I love my car so much. But the car that I have right now is my favorite car, and her name is Gracie. I call my car, I name all my cars. It's a thing. But my car, Gracie, if something goes wrong with Gracie, God bless her, the little light comes on the dashboard and tells me what that problem might be. But I deal with it. I fix it. I don't go, uh-oh, Gracie's got a problem. I guess I'm not supposed to go where I'm going. There's a problem with Gracie. I'm done. Trip's over. Whoops. That's not what we do, right? When we are trying to get to wherever we're trying to get to as our dream destination, we don't stop heading there. But also notice the two things that I brought up about what I do when I get behind the wheel of a car. I point it in the direction I want it to go, and then I hold it to that direction. You don't just point the steering wheel and let go of it. You hold it. You hold on to the steering wheel, and you keep making adjustments constantly. If there is something in the road, you don't just drive through it, right? Or drive over it. You go around it. You actually make adjustments all the way. And so that is part of letting go of the how. Start, you take those baby steps, you actually put your foot on the gas, and then you make those adjustments that are needed. And part of making the adjustments is letting go of the attachment. That's the other thing you have to let go of. You have to let go of the attachment to the outcome. Because remember, in the book Spontaneous Brilliance, remember my teaching toddler. The more attached you are to the outcome of an improv, which your life is and my life is, the more attached we are to the outcome, the more likely we are to block. And it may sound like a little bit of a contradiction here because I just told you to fall in love with the dream. And fall in love with the dream in a way that makes it locked in, that you are going to do it no matter what. And that seems to be an attachment. The distinction here that I'm going to draw is the distinction between an attachment and a commitment. So you are committed to your dream. You are knowing you have claimed it, you locked it in, you've decided no matter what, I'm getting to this dream. I love where I'm going. I've fallen in love with it. I'm going to make adjustments on the way. I am committed to getting there. I'm not attached to the way it's going to look when I get there. If you get to go to your dream destination on a trip and you get there and it's raining, you don't turn around and go home, right? I'm not attached to the outcome. I am committed to reaching my destination. So love is an attachment. Of course, you're attached to your dream. You're committed to your dream. It's coming from within you. It is the reason you're here this year, right? And I want you to hear that part. Think about that. If you're choosing your dream with the belief that that's the reason you're on the planet right now, it's that big a dream. Why am I here? What is it that I'm meaning to do this year? My soulful self means to do this. So how did I get to this point? What is my dream way of showing up on the great stage of life this year? So you let go of the attachment to the specifics of the outcome, and you let go of the attachment to the things that you're dragging with you, the expectation. What are you magnetizing to yourself and dragging with you? What are you pulling forward into this moment that doesn't need to be here? Expectations of how you think it should go will cause you to limit the possibility of this or something better. If you are dragging things with you, it's like if you've seen the movie Galaxy Quest, right? And he's dragging all the magnetized minds. I always think of that image. Like when I think about us dragging stuff from the past forward with us. The next thing we need to let go of is we need to let go of the past. We need to remember that the past is just a thought. It doesn't exist. It is an illusion. It has no effect on us except the effect we choose to let it have. It has no power over you. None. You're writing this story here on the great stage of life. And you are writing this story in this year to come about your dream destination and the way in which you take this journey toward your dream destination. And this story does not need to have a big laborious backstory about all the tragedy that you're carrying along with you. Whatever it was in your past, it's just what helped to build you to get to here. But it doesn't mean anything about what you are capable of going forward. Okay, the past is only that. If something bad happened to you in the past, What did it give you? What did it cause you to learn? How did it help create the you that is here now? How did it help to build the content of your character, the character that your soulful self is playing here on the great stage of life, this egoic self that is you? How did that thing that we characterize as bad, right? That obstacle or that conflict or that thing that happened, that part of your pre-story, how did it build this magnificent you? What did it gift you? What did it give you that you wouldn't have had otherwise? It's like, if you can focus on what is the gift. Here we go with another metaphor. If you open a gift and you see that gift and you welcome that gift into your life, you don't drag the wrapping paper and the box with you into the future, right? You take the gift, you take the beautiful thing that came out of that wrapping paper, of that circumstance, that situation, and you utilize the gift. You don't keep the box and the wrapping paper and all of that stuff. You put it in recycling. So put all the boxes and wrapping paper from the gifts that you got in your past into recycling. Let them go. Let them go. The next thing to let go of is let go of fear. I've told you guys before, if I if I only did things I wasn't afraid of, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing any of the things I'm doing today. I wouldn't have any of the important relationships that I have today. I was afraid to give birth. I was afraid to adopt. I was afraid to be on stage. Me. I was afraid. I was scared out of my mind the first time I walked on stage. I have been nearly scared out of my mind many times to walk on stage in various circumstances. I was scared to write a book. I was scared to fall in love after a failed marriage. I was scared to step out on my own professionally. I was scared to move to New York, not knowing anybody. I was scared to go to London. I was scared to audition for almost all of the productions I've ever been in. I was scared to start this podcast. Hello, right? But if you can let go of the fear or take those baby steps and just embrace the fear. It's an obstacle. Embrace it. What's it doing for you? If you weren't ever afraid of anything, then you wouldn't be building your courage because you wouldn't be learning that you can do things anyway. So being scared of something but taking baby steps toward it and continuing to do it, that's what builds, again, the depth and the content of your character and helps you know just what you're capable of. And it's okay. If you are dreaming it, that fear is just some of the exercise equipment on the way to your dream so that you will be ready for that dream when you bring it to its full fruition. But if you are dreaming it, then you're not meant to give up on it, because we don't get offers from our soulful self or from the universe that we are meant to be frustrated by. You don't have a dream that you don't inherently have the ability to bring to fruition. It just doesn't work that way. You are here for the beautiful realization of your dreams. So when you decide on what that dream destination is, know that it's yours. Remember those questions that I shared with you, seems like eons ago now, but quite a few episodes ago, right? Those simple questions of, is this mine? So ask yourself about that dream. When you decide on that dream destination and you're locking it in and you're saying, no matter what, I'm going to get there. You're making that commitment, no matter what. When you fall in love with that dream, then just check in. Ask yourself, is this mine? And you will already, of course, know by that point that it is. And remember, When the answer to is this mine is yes, or the answer is no, either way, the next question is, then what's the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? So if you ask yourself about your dream, is this mine? Yep, this is my dream. Then what's the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? I guarantee it is take a step in the direction of that dream. Take an action. Take an inspired action. And just let go of the fear as best you can. Most of the time, our fear when it comes to our dreams is a fear of failure. And those fears about failure come from our presets. Most of them are not even ours. It's not even really our fear. It's some fear that we've been taught or told. It's somebody, some well-meaning monkey sharing with us that it's possibly not possible. Or it's possibly too big. Or it's possibly something that they wouldn't do. You know, my mother, God bless her, my mother was the perfect mom for me because her favorite thing to say to me when I was just like going, hey, Mom, I'm going to move to New York and be an actor. No, I don't know anybody and I don't know how I'm going to do it. And bye. You know, she would say when I knew every fiber of her being wanted to go, what? No. You know, she would say, well, it wouldn't be my choice, but if that's what'll make you happy. And I hear that ringing in my ears all the time because that was her one criteria. She could tell the difference between something that was coming from a deep place within and impulsivity. You know, if it was just me going, hey, you know what I think I'm going to do? She'd go, hang on a second. Let's go through this. But once she could feel that it was a dream destination, she would say, well, it wouldn't be my choice, but, you know, because that's all anybody can say to us. You guys, me, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your best friend, your kids, whatever, whoever, anybody in the world, the most they can say to you is, it wouldn't be my choice. And then you have to be the one, if they don't plug it in, to plug in the back half of that. But if it's what'll make you happy, then go for it. So just to recap here, folks, what we are going to do in lieu of setting resolutions is we are going to dream. We are going to connect through our imagination with our soulful self. We're going to decide on our dream for this year. And then we're going to name it. And we're going to claim it. We're going to establish those themes and intentions as a way of setting the coordinates into the GPS. And then we're going to fall in love with our dream. We are going to fall in love like never before with that dream destination. And then we're going to commit to it. We're going to lock it in. We're going to claim it. We're going to know that we're getting there no matter what. No matter what. We're not going to be attached to what it's going to look like when we get there, to the exacting of the outcome, but we are going to go. We're going to arrive at that destination, that dream destination. We're going to embrace the obstacles. We're going to let go of the how. We're going to let go of the attachments. We're going to let go of the past. We're going to let go of fear. We are going to embrace the obstacles along the way. And we are going to know that if we have this dream, we have the ability to bring it to fruition because it's ours. All right, beautiful ones. Here we go. So take those notes, spend a little time meditate with yourself, hang out with your soulful self, and really get a picture of what your vision is, write it down. What is your dream destination? Write it down. What are you calling it? What are the steps you're going to take? What is your commitment? What is your, there is no way this is not going to happen commitment? And if you need to note what you're afraid of, go ahead and note that. Then you'll be able to see that obstacle whenever it comes up and just go, thank you for sharing. I got you. I'm going ahead anyway. Have a beautiful time setting that intention, setting that dream destination, and get ready for a beautiful, glorious, blessing-filled year ahead. All right. Have a great one, and I will talk to you again soon. The Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast is brought to you by Miracle Communications Group. Our producer is Michelle Oneida. Sound engineer is Corey Michaels at Corey Michaels Productions. Music is composed by Rex Miller. And I'm your host, Sandra Kavanaugh. You can learn more about me and all things Spontaneous Brilliance at sandrakavanaugh.com or spontaneousbrilliance.com. And please join the conversation here at the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast by emailing us at podcast@spontaneousbrilliance.com.